all news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
38 degrees, cloudy at 9:20. I'm Lane Bajardi. Here's what's happening. Nicolas Maduro appeared in Manhattan federal court declaring he remains president of Venezuela, even as his vice president took the oath of office as the new interim leader of that government. Mayor Mamdani takes aim at companies that abuse customers with junk fees and nearly impossible to cancel subscriptions. The body of a man was found inside a dumpster fire in Queens. Governor Hochul will call for new state privacy standards online for children. The Long Island mom will get the double lung transplant she needs following a successful fundraising effort. Sports, Knicks in Detroit. Rangers host Utah. Goalie Igor Shesterkin left the game midway through the first period with a left leg injury. Status undetermined. AccuWeather says mainly cloudy tonight. Temperatures nearly steady in the low to mid-30s. Mostly cloudy, not as cold tomorrow. High 42. Wins News Time 9:21. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Kelly Dillon.
Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. We've got construction setting up on the westbound LIE now. Exit 43 to 41 in Jericho. The right lane out, getting a bit slow. Northern State is better. The Southern State remains quiet. Not too much happening through Queens on the LIE or the Grand Central. In Brooklyn, we're slow on the inbound Gowanus now into Hamilton Ave. In Midtown, it's quiet on both the West Side Highway and the FDR Drive. Not too much happening in the Bronx either tonight. Both the Cross Bronx and the Deegan, they're moving well. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. We're getting slow at the inbound Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. The Brooklyn Bridge quiet in either direction. No trouble on the Verrazano. The Lincoln and the Holland both moving fine, and no delays, no construction along the George so far. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro made his first appearance in Manhattan federal court today.
When asked to enter a plea, Nicolas Maduro told the judge, "I am innocent. I am a decent man. I am president of my country." When asked to confirm his identity, he did so, adding, "I am a prisoner of war. I was abducted by the U.S. government on January 3rd, captured in my home country." Outside court, I caught up with his lawyer, Barry Pollack. He said he is a prisoner of war and he's completely innocent.
I think what President Maduro said speaks for itself.
In court, the attorney told the judge he plans to contest the legality of the arrest, describing it as an abduction and whether Maduro has immunity as a head of state. Juliet Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Maduro's regime remains very much in charge of the country. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in as the interim president today by her brother, who happens to be president of the country's National Assembly. Trump administration officials are on Capitol Hill briefing key members of Congress about the operation. Some say they should have gotten a heads up before it happened.
Majority Leader John Thune says he gets why the president didn't tell Congress about the strike ahead of time.
We're not the best at keeping secrets around here.
The Democrat Jack Reed says it sets a dangerous precedent for people like Vladimir Putin,
Who now can sit back and say, well, why are they complaining about my attack in Ukraine?
He says we created an international order with a primary rule.
You cannot use force against another sovereign nation.
Correspondent Stacey Lynn. Meanwhile, the UN Security Council held an emergency meeting about this. Both allies and adversaries blasting President Trump's intervention and him signaling the possibility of expanding military actions to countries like Colombia and Mexico. In a statement, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said he is deeply concerned the rules of international law have not been respected. It's a battle the Biden administration was fighting, which the Trump administration quickly ended. Eradicating consumer junk fees and recurring charges that are difficult to stop. Mayor Mamdani is now going after companies that do it.
Last-minute fees for concert tickets, resort charges at hotels, convenience fees for using electronic payments. Mayor Mamdani is creating a junk fees task force.
What this will do is illuminate what of these fees are legal and what of them are being grouped together under the guise of that are actually outside the bounds of the law.
Consumer and Worker Protection Commissioner Sam Levine.
Should we find companies that are engaging in these practices, we're going to take them to court. We're going to make sure that they pay back consumers who got harmed.
They're also targeting companies that make it impossible to cancel subscriptions. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
3 people injured this morning when a 5-alarm fire broke out at a deli in the Claremont section of the Bronx. 2 of the injured firefighters. Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson says when crews arrived, they were hindered by cars parked in front of several fire hydrants.
You cannot park at a fire hydrant. Every second counts when FDNY responds to these fires. And we also know the importance of fire education and fire safety. And we remind our New Yorkers that you have to have a working smoke alarm and carbon monoxide detector.
Fire spread from the deli to the second floor through the 5-story apartment building, leaving some residents homeless tonight. The mayor thanking the more than 250 first responders who raced to the scene, able to evacuate the building without loss of life. 38 degrees, cloudy, temperatures holding steady or even rising in Midtown. Now, Bloomberg Money Watch.
President Trump signaling U.S. oil companies will be the ones to redevelop Venezuela's long-neglected energy infrastructure. That follows his surprise military operation and capture of that nation's leader this weekend. Now, that led to big gains on Wall Street today for banking, technology, and especially energy-related stocks like Chevron, ExxonMobil, and Halliburton. At the close, the Dow was up 595 points, 1.25% higher, to close at a new all-time high. The NASDAQ up 160, the S&P added 44, both up 0.2%, and oil today ending just slightly higher. I'm Tom Busby. Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins.
I love that it's local.
Local first.
Live and local.
1010 Wins.
All news, all the time.
On 92.3 FM.
It takes a community to lift up families in crisis. Become a volunteer at Ronald McDonald House of Long Island. 1010 Wins because we're better together. 38 degrees, cloudy skies, temperatures holding steady in the overnight hours, then getting warmer each day that goes by this week. Details from AccuWeather in 2 minutes. I'm Lane Gajardi. Wins News Time, 9:30.
Good evening, I'm Mario Bosques. A mystery in Queens, a dumpster fire, and a body.
Police say firefighters were responding to a fire in a commercial building right next to a strip mall in Queens when they found an adult man dead inside of a dumpster. Police say they're still looking into what the exact cause of death is and how the fire started, but sources believe this could have been a man that was homeless and trying to light a fire to stay warm inside the dumpster. Police say the city's medical examiner is working to figure out exactly who this victim is and what is the exact cause of death. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Wins News Time, 9:31. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
We have construction setting up on the New Jersey Turnpike Western Spur heading northbound into 15W. We've got some lanes getting closed, so the Eastern Spur will be better. Then on the New Jersey Turnpike northbound approaching exit 68 in Ridgefield Park, we've got lanes shutting down with repairs here, so it is now bumper to bumper. In Midtown, we're a bit slow on the northbound FDR into the 50s. The west side is moving fine. Also picking up on the inbound Gowanus in Brooklyn into Hamilton Avenue. Southbound on the Van Wyck in Queens, we are slowing up into Rockaway Boulevard. Looks like overnight construction is setting up here. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The outer bridge crossing into New Jersey. Right lane construction setting up. No big backups at the moment, but it's going to get quite crowded, so the Goethals will be the better option. The Lincoln and the Holland both are okay tonight, and no trouble on the George. No construction yet, so that is moving well. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Let's get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson.
After it's been so cold over the last several days, we are going to see a bit of a warm-up over the next few days. We'll see temperatures holding in the low to mid-30s tonight with a good deal of clouds. Still mostly cloudy for tomorrow, and it won't be as cold as the last few days, a high of 42. Rather cloudy and damp tomorrow night, even a bit of rain or drizzle around with a low of 38. Might have a leftover shower first thing on Wednesday. It will be a blustery day with clouds breaking for some sun. Wednesday's high about 47. A good deal of sunshine on Thursday, high again about 47. And it might warm up into the 50s by Friday and Saturday, but the rain chances are going to be on the increase. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
The state is working on new standards to keep kids safe online. There's word in her upcoming State of the State address, Governor Hochul will be proposing a default setting for online platforms that should ban viewing or messaging minors. Governor Hochul.
We'll have first in the nation age assurance standards under our Safe for Kids Act. We're going to require social media companies and messaging and gaming companies to automatically default to those privacy settings at the highest levels for anyone under the age of 18.
From a press conference today, specifically, the safeguards would automatically keep strangers from viewing, tagging, or messaging minors and would be among the strictest in the nation. These measures, again, to be part of the State of the State set for a week from tomorrow. 1010 Winds will have coverage. A follow-up to a story we are covering here on 1010 Winds. A Long Island mother hoping to soon have a life-saving double lung transplant.
Mother of 5, Anna Marie Patterson, struggles every day. She needs oxygen to breathe, and until now, she has not been eligible to have a life-saving double lung transplant because she lives in a shelter on Long Island. Thanks to generous donors, she raised $30,000 to rent a house, which will allow her to no longer be denied the surgery. The 40-year-old says she developed lung problems after she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
Well, despite rumors to the contrary, police in Heber City, Utah are not being turned into frogs. An AI glitch is being blamed for transcribing police reports, apparently was also listening to the Princess and the Frog movie playing in the background, then stating the officer in the case was transformed into a frog. Despite that, officials say they will continue using AI to transcribe their reports, being extra careful this time around. Heber City Police Officer Sergeant Rick Keel.
If I want to review that to make sure that's accurate, I just hit the timestamp. I'm saving myself about 6 to 8 hours.
Yet they're still trying to prevent more cops being turned into frogs thanks to AI. That was from Fox 13. Well, this is not the famous TV emu from insurance commercials, a real live one. On the run has been nabbed after being on the lam from owners in Arizona. Kevin, the emu, had run away, scared off by New Year's fireworks in Peoria. After posting on Facebook, the calls came in. Kevin was captured and now safe home as of Sunday. A fast food giant getting a lot of ribbing over a popular yet elusive item.
The buzz is viral when McDonald's brings back the McRib, providing fodder for late-night comedians.
McDonald's made the announcement after moving some old boxes in the freezer.
Like Seth Meyers.
These are still here?
A class action lawsuit accuses McDonald's of misleading customers into believing the McRib contains a premium cut of pork, like spare ribs. On its website, the fast food giant lists the ingredients as pork, water, salt, dextrose, rosemary extract, but doesn't mention rib meat. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The most important radio station on the planet for the most important people in the world. 1010 Winds and you.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 38 degrees at 9:40. I'm Mario Bosquez. Here's what's happening. Nicolas Maduro says, I'm still president and not guilty on drug trafficking, and he was captured. That's from his first court appearance right here in the city. A Brooklyn Heights brownstone catches fire injuries reported, including firefighters. Domestic rats, many of them in distress on Long Island. Rescuers want foster help. Strong message from the Nurses Association of their new contract. We will walk off the job. A parade and celebration in East Harlem for Three Kings Day. AccuWeather, mainly cloudy, temps nearly steady, low to mid-30s. Winds use time 9:41, but let's get you where you need to go. Here's Kelly Dillon.
We are picking up in New Jersey tonight. There's construction on the New Jersey Turnpike Western Spur northbound into 15W in Kearney getting set up, so the Eastern Spur is better. Then we've got construction work on the northbound New Jersey Turnpike in Ridgefield Park into exit 68. Setting up, and also southbound construction in the same area setting up as well. Bumper to bumper delays picking up here. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Construction on the westbound LIE now, exit 43 to 41 in Jericho, knocking out the right lane. It's a bit slow. The northern state is going to be better. The southern state is moving well. A bit busy in Brooklyn on the inbound Gowanus into Hamilton Avenue. In Midtown, we're nice and quiet now on both the West Side Highway and the FDR. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The Jersey-bound Outer Bridge crossing has right lane construction. The Goethals, it is better. Looking all right at the Lincoln and Holland. And the George is moving well either way on the upper and lower decks. Kelly Dillon, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Insisting he's still the president of his country, Nicolas Maduro says in his first court appearance here, he was kidnapped, pushing back on those drug trafficking charges.
A defiant Nicolas Maduro told the judge he was abducted by the U.S. government. He described himself as a prisoner of war, captured, he said, in his country of Venezuela. Outside court, I asked defense attorney Barry Pollack. Can you talk about your client and your representation of him today?
Everything we had to say, we said in court.
But in court, Pollack said he planned to challenge the legality of the arrest, characterizing it as an abduction, and he said Maduro may enjoy immunity as a head of state. Maduro said he is the president of the Republic of Venezuela. His wife, Celia, identified herself as First Lady. Julia Papa, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
While Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife were inside a federal court, outside a massive protest breaking out.
Maduro!
Two demonstrations happening alongside of each other.
Today we have 8 million refugees, the largest humanitarian crisis in the hemisphere. There are more than 18,000 political prisoners since 2014 when he took over.
While the others believe he should have never been taken and brought to the city in the first place.
To see this happen in front of our eyes was outrageous.
Tension continues to grow outside of federal court. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Lower Manhattan.
His next court date, March 17th. In the meantime, Delcy Rodriguez, who served as Maduro's vice president, has been sworn in as Venezuela's interim president, demanding the U.S. return Maduro. But at the same time, inviting collaboration with U.S. officials. This while U.S. allies and adversaries utilize a United Nations meeting to blast the U.S. intervention in Venezuela.
The top Senate Democrat says the Trump administration has signaled it doesn't have a plan for Venezuela.
No plan, no clarity, only chaos.
Chuck Schumer says no one should weep for Nicolas Maduro, but he says the president has now opened a Pandora's box.
And things will get out of hand very quickly.
Schumer says Democrats will offer a War Powers Act resolution aimed at blocking further U.S. military action in Venezuela. In recent months, similar measures have been rejected by both houses. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
This is still very much a developing story. Keep it here with us on 1010 Wins. As a Venezuelan drama unfolds, the president revisiting comments about Greenland. But Denmark and the rest of Europe are pushing back on that as Denmark's prime minister reacted to Trump's comments.
In an interview on Danish TV, she has been quoted as saying that she believes that anyone should take Donald Trump's threats about wanting Greenland seriously. And then she goes on to say that if the US were to attack Greenland, then she believes that would be the end of the NATO alliance, the end of the security structure, the transatlantic relationship since the end of World War II.
Tom Sophie Burridge with the story. Wins News Time 9:45. Here at home, a Brooklyn Heights brownstone catches fire. Injuries reported, including firefighters. This broke out, officials say, on the third floor of a 6-story building.